Good day, everyone. I normally don't put blogs on my channel, or I don't really post that much content anyway. But anyways, this is something I just want to get out. I just feel that I need to get out to the public or to whoever's interested in my content that I put on this channel. I want to talk about bubbles of realities. Each individual has their own bubble of reality. They perceive what is to be true and based on what they experience, and based on people's environment they have skewed expectations on what reality is. But the problems that I see occur when two different bubbles try to come together and try to share ideas, so to speak. The problem being that we cannot really communicate these ideas without trying to impose our beliefs onto others. You know, this happens all the time with religion, with politics, with science, with many other different categories of subjects to talk about. And I'm not reading this through a script, to be honest. That's why if you hear me stutter, that's, anyways, that's beside the point. The problem is that we cannot communicate clearly what we want to say, and when we try to communicate these ideas, sometimes we tend to be a bit antagonistic towards others. It's just this programming in our heads saying that they have to believe this way because that is the reality. But, like I said, there are different bubbles of reality, so people experience different things. And it's really hard to try to communicate your ideas if you try to impose the belief that this is the way it is. But what would be more accurate to say to help communicate these ideas is to say, this is the reality that I have experienced. This is what I have been shown. And that will help reduce the tension between two opposing ideas, or two people who share different or completely opposite ideas. Because even though we're just accepting the fact, or accepting a fact about how what we perceive of reality is what we experience in our cultures, then we can realize that and to become the change that we want to see. Because when you see the actual bubble around us and around what we experience, then you have the power to change what your reality is. It's understanding that you have limitations of what you can comprehend and what you can see, hear, feel, and touch, that others would never experience the same things that you have. So, yeah, it's just, you just have to learn to communicate your ideas, because I've claimed myself to be an atheist for the longest time. Well, maybe about a year or two when I learned the language that there was such thing as being an atheist. Prior then, I didn't really have any opinions on religion or spirituality or anything like that. But then when I noticed throughout the atheist communities on YouTube and on the internet and even in real life, I found that they were a bit antagonistic, and it was just not for me. I decided to, just remove labels altogether. I'm not an atheist, or I'm not a Christian, I'm not anything. I am just me. I'm just me with a whole bunch of different ideas. You could put labels on those ideas, but you know what? I won't. I am more of a spiritual person than being an atheist who has no belief in gods, or lacks the belief in gods. And you know what? It's just that from things that I've seen, or from what I've looked into so far, is that there is some sort of intelligence guiding this so-called reality. And you know what? We are it. We are the intelligent beings that are guiding what our reality actually is, to a greater or lesser extent. But, you know, there's just so much I can fit into this single video, and I'm just going to leave it at this. If you have friends that disagree with you, that's okay. That is perfectly fine. And if you have problems trying to communicate your ideas, instead of saying this is the way it is, try saying this is the way I've experienced it. Therefore, once you come to that realization and you truly take those phrases as such to heart, then you can start realizing how to change the realities around you. Namaste.